2 months of apartment searching in Tbilisi, I gave up and bought a place in Batumi. Tbilisi is the capital and would arguably be a better long-term investment, yet I haven't found any reasonable investment opportunities. You see, Georgia gives a 1-year tourist visa on arrival. There are pretty much no other countries that are that open. Expats stay here for years. All they need to do is to visit another country for a few hours every 365 days. Combine it with the war in neighboring countries and you have a serious immigrant situation in Georgia. These people need a place to live, so they drive demand for apartment, making rent more expensive, and therefore landlords are less likely to sell since they want to continue receiving these good returns from their units. I understood the situation, but I had hoped there might be an opportunity, so I launched a bot monitoring new apartment and notifying me on Telegram. Yet there was nothing reasonable. Everything under 2K would be either in a bad location, have a bad view from the window, or have a strange floor plan. At the same time, I couldn't afford an apartment with 3K per square meter. And even if I could, I don't believe Tbilisi proved itself enough to be worth that much. Yes, the city has potential, but it also has significant problem. And the biggest one for me is air quality. You see, Tbilisi is in a valley between mountain ranges. It is hard to expand the city into the mountains, so there are more and more buildings in limited flat areas of Tbilisi, creating a dense population and significant traffic. You often find yourself walking between cars and smelling this disgusting car's exhaust. I don't see how it could improve if they continue filling every free space with real estate. Combined with limited air ventilation because of surrounding mountains, and you have a high chance of having significant health problems because of breathing toxins all the time. There are areas with clean air though, for example Nutsubuza near Lisi Lake, but when I checked it last time, it was very depressing neighborhood surrounded with old Soviet building and feel of hopelessness. Most often living in an apartment in Tbilisi doesn't worsen it. If you go somewhere by car, you will spend a lot of time commuting, and walking isn't pleasant since you always breathe dirty air. Often there are no sidewalks and you're worrying about being hit by a car. And the city became dirtier. The most disgusting part is that dog shit is everywhere. Every morning I would go to the coffee shop and I would need to walk through a narrow staircase connecting Scheta and Abashidze streets. Once I saw there a big dog with an owner that left a pile of shit on the middle of the stairs. No one picked it up for weeks. Being a bit tired of Tbilisi and not having good investment opportunities led me to take a train to Batumi to acquire an apartment there. It took me 1 week to buy a new place and move there. During that time, I checked 5 newly renovated apartments with an average price of $1,600 per square meter, but none of them felt like a good deal. Yes, it's good to have a brand new place, but I didn't want to sacrifice on distance to the sea and having a view from the windows. So I ended up buying an older apartment in the building that may be 10 years old. The place has some flaws. It is an 18-story building with a single elevator, so it would take me quite some time to get to my apartment, which is on 13th floor. It has 2 bedrooms, but they are quite small and you would hardly fit a bed there. There is poor sound isolation and the renovation is cheap and old. However, there are good parts about the apartment. It is 5 minutes walk from the sea, you can have a relatively good view from the windows, and it is bright inside. But it's Batumi and they can always build a skyscraper in front of you, so some of these pros could disappear with time. I paid 85k for a 78 square meter apartment, but the caveat here is that they include 3 large balconies in that area, so without them it would be around 65 square meters. Of course it was a cash deal, so I would go to ATMs every day trying to withdraw as much money as I could, but at the end of the day I still had to pay a fee to withdraw the rest of the money from the bank. While my previous deals were a 1-day process, this one took quite some time and was a bit stressful, and I could have lost all my money there. On the first day we met at the public hall, made an application for ownership transfer, and I gave all the money to the owner. Usually there are no problems with the process, you wait a few hours and get an SMS that now you became an owner. But this time, after a few hours, I received a notification that there is a problem and the process will be stopped until the previous owner brings some passport scan. Hopefully the seller came to the public hall and we eventually resolved the problem, but he could have departed with the money and I would have left with nothing. Yes, some things are fast and easy in Georgia, but people working in government are often incompetent, so you should be careful, especially when it comes to big money. It was just 3 weeks of me living in Batumi, but I already preferred over Tbilisi. The seaside makes a difference, and having an option to go there anytime brings a lot of peace of mind to me. Yes, it's usually windy and rainy in the winter and not everyone would prefer going into this weather, but there are also sunny days when it's 15 degrees outside in February. For me, it's still early to make a conclusion about the city, and it will change a lot in summertime as more tourists will enter the place, making it quite crowded. So I'm looking forward to warm months to learn more and figure out the optimal way of living in Batumi. In the long-term perspective, I don't think of Batumi as a great tourist destination, but rather a good place for remote workers to come and have a chill lifestyle. But only as long as government keeps low taxes and 1-year visa on arrival in place. Without these incentives, a lot of expats will go to other countries. You can get all work done in 2 or 3 90 minutes blocks of deep work. To learn more, check out increaser.org.